Okay, it's loading to YouTube, so just give it a minute.
Yep, it tells us, it says the content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. So yep.
Yes, and there we are. It's on a little delay. There we go. How many people are we missing, Miss Fambro?
Miss Green, Miss Green got in. I think Mr. Torrey, well, you know what he's doing, so he'll be joining.
Yes, yeah. I know he'll come when he finishes.
Well, it looks like we have enough, so I will go ahead and get it going.
All righty then.
All right, could anyone, doesn't matter who it is, just let me know if you can see my screen before I get ready to start. And by my screen, I mean the PowerPoint. So if you can just put it in the chat or just
I see it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Miss Green. So good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you all to the Hollis Innovation Academy's Go Team meeting where we will follow the agenda as it has been publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the Go Team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Hollis Innovation Academy Go Team to order at 5:05 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take roll.
Good evening, Letitia Green, Secretary, present. Ms. Barbara Shea,
Present.
Carla Moore,
Present.
Billy Walker,
Present.
Monica Taylor,
Present.
Chelsea Baker,
Present.
Javier Torres,
He'll be joining.
okay. Aisha Fambro,
Present.
Marielle Hicks,
Present.
Sherry Belil,
I'm here.
and I'm Letitia Green, and present.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Mrs. Green, is there a quorum present?
Yes, there is.
All right, well, we will move on to the approval of the agenda. Thank you, Ms. Green. Let's let someone in. All right, so our first order of business is to approve the agenda for today. This was provided to you on the school's website and available on the screen as well. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? And I'll give you some time to look at it. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
This is Carla Moore. I move a motion to approve the agenda.
Sherry, second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right, we have approved the agenda. We will now review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The meeting minutes are also available on our website, so I will show you this now. And I want to click the link to go directly to the link's website. And I hope that, because something has happened here. I hope you can still see my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, because it did something weird on my end. So thank you all. And I will just give you some time to view the minutes. So this was the roll. And all who were present or not present. Quorum was established. Approval of the agenda, approval of minutes. We did have public comment, and that is noted right here. Here are the discussion items. Optional school uniform. Information items. Sorry. And adjournment. Are there any corrections that need to be made to the previous minutes? If there are no further corrections or any corrections at all, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Green. A second?
This is Carla Moore. I second it.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Please say abstain. All right, and the secretary will note that, and we will continue on with our meeting. I'll go back to our PowerPoint. And here we are. So our first action item, we will be reviewing our strategic plan, but we're gonna kind of go out of order, but it's still following the agenda. So we'll go over our SIP, which is our continuous improvement plan. And Principal Shea will go over that. We'll move to our map data discussion, and then we'll go over the strategic plan as stated on the agenda. It'll just be in a different order. And we will potentially make updates and rank the strategic plan. So this is the agenda for today's meeting. And we will move forward with our SIP. So you'll hear SIP a lot, and that's just the continuous improvement plan. Right now, this is where we are. So we had 5 steps, and before winter break, we are on step 5. That's where we are. And the GO team will take action, which is just voting on the school strategic plan and vote on the range
Come on. Why you driving on, say?
school year 25-26 budget.
Looks like was.
Go on mute. Someone is not on mute.
In here.
Thank you. All right, so Principal Shea, it's on you.
Hey, good evening again. As part of the continuous improvement plan process, we are obligated to do a quarterly check-in based on our year-long SIP plan, what are the actions that the school has already completed? And what data supports the completion of an action step and success criteria, both implementation and student achievement? These are our questions to consider. Now, go ahead. That's it. That's good. We can go back to the questions if we need to. So our SIP, actually, we just had a meeting last week where we looked at where we are. We looked at our data with the state, the people that help us on a weekly basis, and our Metro RISA supporters that come to see us on a weekly basis. And we went through all of our action steps and rated where we are using the data we have already accumulated for this year. So we are basically, I can read through it. We've been through this before, but I can read through it. One of them, monitoring the effective implementation of the data analysis process, wanting all of our teachers to engage in data analysis protocol sheets, and then having our students, 70% of our students master on their common assessments. And what I can say up to this point, which is our 90-day checkoff, we are still in progress in all these areas, but we are weekly meeting with teachers and reviewing data. And it's kind of a new, I'm not going to say it's a new thing for them, but we've introduced some new protocols for them in an effort to make it easier to respond to the data and see the data. And they are finally catching on and doing a really good job. So our data right now is current, and we all are aware of it, and we know where we need to grow, and we know what we're doing well and the things that we need to work on. Implementing the instructional framework, that's in progress. That will always be in progress because we live by our instructional framework. That won't change in our standards-based classrooms. Monitoring the effective implementation of coaching, yes, in progress. Our coaches work very hard, and they are meeting with teachers weekly. We are moving to a plan where they will meet with teachers more individually as time goes on, so they can help teachers with the things that are really bothering them, things that they are struggling with, and not in a group environment. So it's just interesting. Like Ms. Fambro is one of our coaches, and she coaches in the areas of math and science. And as hard as that is, because she has two contents, we're now coming up with some plans so that she can spend some more time with, say, our science teachers who are struggling, who don't feel like they've gotten the support, because honestly, literacy and numeracy are the goals of the district and, of course, our goals. But we all know that science and social studies support math and reading, and we want to make sure that our teachers feel that support, because we expect them to work just as hard as anybody else. So they're doing well. We are moving in the right direction. I don't believe we went down in any area. We went up in every area. Monitoring the effective implementations of readers, writers, and phonics. And of course, that is our lower grades, and we are using Flyleaf, and teachers have seen big gains. I had a teacher, we had a meeting today in the building, just coincidentally, with HR. HR came out to speak to me about next year and some of the things that might be down the road for us next year. And when we finished, they needed to talk to some of our teachers who have provisional certification. And so one of the HR people covered a class for us. And when she came out of that class, it was a first grade class. And she said, that was so fun. Those kids are reading to me. And that was just the best feeling, I am not going to lie, in the world. They were bringing up books, they were reading to her, and she was like, whoa. So that just tells me that we are doing everything we know how to do, and it is working. We'll go to the next one. I can't see it though, Ms. Fambro. Implement district approved curriculum. Can you see at the bottom? Thank you. Oh, wait, I think okay. Well, that one that I can't see is just implementing the approved curriculum, which we are. And in most of our classes, we are exclusively using the Georgia DOE curriculum, the curriculum that they've released for us. That is our curriculum, and how teachers teach it is they use other supplemental devices, but we follow that curriculum, and that's the curriculum that everything else is based on. Okay, I'm there. Monitor the implementation of co-teaching models. One of the areas that we do struggle is some of our around special education. One of the models of special education is co-taught, which means there's a gen ed teacher and a special ed teacher in a general ed class, with students with disabilities are also in that class. And we are spending a lot of time helping teachers understand what co-taught should look like, and the fact that we don't want the children to know what teacher is what in that class. 2 teachers are in that class, and that's the message. So we have people from the district coming over actually this week to work with our co-teachers and our special ed teachers on a one-to-one, and helping them with strategies and ways to break up the work in a class so that they're both teaching and both monitoring. So we're excited about that. She's already come once and done an overall workshop. She comes back this week to work with individual teachers. So because that's an area that we do need to grow. So by spring, we're still hoping for 100% of our teachers will implement co-taught strategies. But when we see our observations, we won't know who the general ed teacher is versus who the special ed teacher is, because it's a joint effort in those classes. Thank you. We are doing that, developing and monitoring a data system with protocols. We've come up with new protocols this year. We've come up with a plan that we're using school-wide so that there's no confusion, so that things seem fair and equitable. When we look at something in one classroom, we're looking for the same things in another when it comes to teaching and learning. We're going to use the framework, which we do, but this is in special ed. They're talking about station teaching, which means kids are moving in that classroom from station to station in special ed and general ed. We want to see more classrooms that have lots going on, if that makes any sense, and not lecture and sit down and do your work. We want to see kids that go to this station, work for so many minutes, switch to another, a small group working with the teacher, and that is happening, and that is in progress. The teachers are internalizing units before they teach them. Which means while they're in their coaching sessions, they're actually practicing. Role playing is a good way to say it. What will this lesson look like? And they'll get up and teach it to the other teachers, and they'll practice the language that they need to use and give them more time to sort of internalize what needs to be done. As I said, we do have 17 teachers in this building that are not fully certified. So they need that extra support. They have a skill set, and it's a good one, but they still need support in just the understanding of how a classroom can look and all the different things you can do in there to differentiate and help students learn. Professional development and the implementation of math curriculum. We offer professional development frequently because we have people from the district, math people, reading people, that come over and provide training for our teachers. When I walked in the door, the first thing I said to the people downtown is, come all the time. We will take all the help we can get. And they are coming all the time. And if they're not working with a group of students, they're working with teachers. And if they're not working with teachers, they're sitting in some of the teacher trainings with the teachers. So it's been a lovely thing, because these are people that are experts in their field of math or reading, and they continue to support us on a weekly basis and basically come whenever we call. If we call for extra, they come for extra. Our STEM PBLs, we are working on our STEM certification, and we are trying to emphasize math and science, and we have a STEM coach, and he's still finding his feet, I guess you could say. But a lot of what we're doing in STEM for year 1 of this is working with STEM through the arts. Working with it through the beyond the core. I'm trying to remember what we call it here, beyond the core courses. And he's going into fine arts, and we're working on STEM. We have something called STEM Tuesday, and the kids in those classes work on STEM activities every Tuesday with their teachers. At the beginning of the year, they did an Olympiad, and now I believe, and they did that as a large group, and now they're doing things individually in their classes. So that is also in progress. Co-teaching models, I've talked about that. We are still working on that. That is a priority for us. And as I said before, we have support coming in for that. And that's in the area of math and reading. And then monitor the implementation of grade level standards in DSE. And sometimes it's hard for people to understand in special ed that we do have students here that have an IEP, that may have an IEP for behavior, may have it for reading and math. And as much as they may be behind in those classes, teachers still have an obligation to expose them to grade level curriculum. And that may mean that we have to back up, take it a little slower, give different kinds of examples, use more manipulatives. But just because they are behind doesn't mean we don't expose them to what they need to know. And yes, maybe we expose them at a level that's slightly lower, but they're still getting the exposure that the other students are getting in the class. So if they're in a regular ed class and they hear the vocabulary of that standard, they know what is being taught. And that is something we work on all the time. Attendance, yes, attendance. Attendance is still, you know, a sticking point for us, but I will tell you that the attendance is better this time this year than it was this time last year. We are getting more kids. We are making a nuisance of ourselves with some of our parents who have chronically absent children, and we are celebrating kids. We are celebrating kids. We are also celebrating teachers, because as much as we have an attendance problem with kids, we also have some issues with teachers, and nobody can learn if the right people aren't here. So that is also in progress. We're looking at the Never Been Absent All-Star Attendance Incentive Program. We are celebrating our kids monthly for perfect attendance. And then develop and monitor the implementation of a school-wide progressive discipline plan, which we have, which the district actually has, and we do follow it. And we will continue to follow it. Next one, is there another one? Okay. Incorporate and implement with fidelity DSE attendance policy. So basically we're saying everybody needs to come to school, our special ed students, everyone. And we are working with case managers, and those are the teachers that teach those children and have them out what's called a caseload, and they are reaching out to parents. Of course, we're using our social workers just like we would for any student, and we want to keep kids from chronic absenteeism.
All right, I'll take it from here. So now we'll move to our data discussion, and as it is stated on the agenda about the MAP data. So we've already went through our fall MAP results. So I'll just allow you all to view what it looks like. We do have some, good things to report from the fall, as was already discussed in our previous meeting. And it appears that fifth grade, is this math? I can't really, let me move this out of the way. Yep, fifth grade math has a very low percentage of beginning students, according to, actually has the lowest level of beginning level students on our MAP results for the fall. We have yet to take the winter, but I just want to recap on where we are as of now before we get ready to take our winter MAP. So this is what math looks like. And this actually looks way better than it did last year. So just want to throw that out there. Here are the reading fall MAP results. And it appears that, looks like eighth grade has the lowest level of beginning readers, or according to the MAP of students. So this is really good as well. Looks like 6th, 7th, and 8th actually have the lowest. So shout out to middle school with the reading results. And again, we discussed this in our last Go Team meeting, I believe, or the one before that, but it was discussed, so. Now, and the expectation for this meeting was to compare our winter map results, but according to the district timeline, it did not fall within this meeting, so it is coming soon. And the window opens December 2nd to the 20th. So we have quite some time before we have to take it according to the district's calendar. But in our next meeting, hopefully we will be able to give that comparison. But we're looking good. So hopefully we can, continue that stride for the winter. So if you wanted to, we've already had this discussion. If anybody has anything to add to the data about what they observe, what do they wonder, now is the time to do so. But I do just want to make it apparent one more time that we've already had this discussion. So here's reading. If anyone wants to speak about reading. And here is math again. And I do see something in the chat. Yep, go 5th grade. I know that's right. All right, so we'll move forward from that. So now we're going to move into our strategic plan progress and where we are. So here's our strategic plan, and it is on you again, Principal Shea. I can't see. I don't know if she heard that.
On mute.
Principal Shea? If not, I can go ahead.
I got it. I'm sorry. I'm just running my mouth. This is our strategic plan, and we're looking at APS strategic priorities and incentives on this one, initiatives, excuse me, fostering academic excellence for all, building a culture of student support, equipping and empowering leaders and staff, and creating a system of school support. So our focus, of course, is on math, reading, whole child, which would include attendance, and pulling our families in for more, just pulling our families in. So our focus is on reading and math and the performance of our special ed kids, as well as all students. But our special ed students are a subgroup, and they are probably the subgroup that struggles the most. So they are on the radar in a big way, trying to pull those sweet children up. And we are working hard every day to make that happen. We also, of course, have the whole child intervention group, and they work tirelessly on really one of their main focuses is attendance and then mental health support. So they meet every Wednesday and reach out to parents on a pretty much daily basis. And we are always trying to think of other ways to make sure our kids come to school and ways to support our parents in getting them here. We do want to try to put, one of our other ones is to improve leadership opportunities for our teachers that want to move into another kind of option here in the building or outside our building, and helping connect them with some of the things that the district provides for leadership. And also we have some teachers here that are in leadership programs and will be shadowing me, shadowing APs, just trying to get a sense of what's involved in the day-to-day work of leaders in a building. We also want to retain top performing staff. And last year, when HR came out today, they noted that we retained more staff last year than we did the year before. One of our issues, of course, is making sure that our staff members are certified in the content that they teach. And that is, they met with all of those teachers today to see if they were in line to finish programs or wherever they were in that process, because they do get 3 years. And all of them, many of them are graduating this year with the certification that they need. And then others that have more time are already enrolled in school and working on passing already the teacher tests that they have to take. We also we're going to start acknowledging we have started acknowledging our teachers monthly. And then every week we do shout outs to teachers that are written by other teachers or anyone in the building that wants to recognize somebody that went above and beyond or somebody that brings great energy. And we read it on the intercom and we talk about that teacher. And I think and other teachers submit those little things that they write and we read them and tell them who submitted their name. So that's something that we're doing to try to keep our staff higher morale and keep our staff. Creating a system of school support. We're trying to provide more opportunities for our families. We're going to leverage our partnerships, and in relation to that, I had my first partnership breakfast last week. I think it was last week. It might have been the week before, where we invited partners out so that I could say hello and get to know them because I didn't know them. And so we had a great turnout. We had about 20 partners show up. And a lot of our partners are people that come and volunteer. They don't, it's not about money. They come and give us, their people to help us do different things in the building. And then in terms of parents, during second semester have a list of things we're going to do to bring parents into our building, starting with, I believe, shortly after we get back, spaghetti and family fun night in January. So I would say to you that I wish I could have started this sooner this year, but it took me a while just to get my footing and figure out what we needed to be doing. And my focus was on teaching and learning. It still is on teaching and learning, but I know I can't do it without the people that are raising these sweet children to come in and feel like this is a place they can have a good time and get good information and know that I am totally approachable if you have something that you need to talk about. Okay, so did you want to take this one, Fambro, or do you want me to read it?
We can. So now it's just to have a go team discussion. And she already reviewed the priorities and goals in our strategic plan, but now's the time to reflect on if the expected progress is being made. And the guided questions below will help us determine what, if any, updates are needed for our school's strategic plan. So in the orange box, it states what progress has been made towards the priorities identified in our strategic plan. What evidence or data do we have? And Principal Shea kind of spoke to a lot of the progress, honestly. But if you wanted to kind of, go back over it, I guess. She stated things about retaining top performing staff, giving teachers the opportunity to shadow her and other staff members in leadership positions. We have a lot of upcoming things for parents to be included as well as other stakeholders within our school. And if I'm missing anything, please let me know. You did speak a lot about the wraparound support services and the PDs for Department of Special Education, so those professional development opportunities. And I think I'm missing probably a lot. But she spoke about a lot of those initiatives that speak to the progress we're making towards our strategic plan. So I guess the next step is to go to our blue box where it says, based upon the available data, do we think there are any adjustments that should be made to our strategic plan? And this is for anyone to share their thoughts as long as you are a member of the Go team. And if there are no adjustments, we will move forward to ranking in a second. All right, we don't have any updates unless you do, Principal Shea. I don't.
No, I'm good.
All right. And so if we did have updates, you all, then this is where we would go ahead and vote and take action on those updates. But because we have 0 updates, we would just move forward. So now we're going to talk about just getting ready to prepare for our budget development. Today, we will not be speaking about the budget, but we are going to be preparing. And part of that is ranking our strategic plan as far as what's the highest level priority and ranking it from there.
Did we lose Miss Stanbrook?
I was wondering about that because it just stopped. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
It looked like we lost her as well as Miss Shea.
Yeah, I don't